Hey renter retires, it's Adam Schroeder here, and today we're going to talk about how to manage your assumptions. Before we get started with today's episode, let me remind you once again, subscribe to our YouTube channel, click the notification bell. Don't miss any of this content we're putting out as we try to make you the best investor you can possibly be. And as always, if you like the video at the end, show us you like it by clicking the like button and leave a comment below if you have any questions or any other videos you'd like us to make. So let's get started. Today I said I want to talk about managing your assumptions. But what does that mean? What assumptions do we really have when we look at a real estate investment property? The three main ones, the ones I want to talk about today, are vacancy, management, and repairs. So when you look at them, why do we set them where they are? And why should you set them there or change them potentially? And so I want to look at why we set them where we do. Well, first off, when it comes to vacancy, some people have asked me, Adam, isn't 3% too low? Well, when you look historically at the tenant stay, it's actually not low because people are staying in multifamily homes, in apartment buildings, an average of 28 months. And whenever Zillow did a recent study of people who are staying in single family homes, if you can get them to renew a second year, after the first year, if they renew their lease, they stay on average 7 years. So when you look at the vacancy rate there, nearly all of our tenants are renewing for a second year because they're coming into a property that's in fantastic shape. And so at that point, they average a 7-year stay. So when you look at it on the whole, every 7 years, if you have a vacancy on average, you're doing really well. If you have a vacancy every 3 years for a month, well, then you're really down in the 2.5% range or so whenever you look at it that way. If it's every 4 or 5 years, well, then you're down in the 1 to 2% maybe. So when you look at the actual numbers and start dividing them out, yes, 1 year it may be low, another year it might be high, but when you average it out over time, which is what we're looking for whenever we're putting these assumptions in, is kind of assuming on average what's going to happen. A 3% vacancy rate isn't that uncommon. But if you want to be more conservative, if you want to play it safer, you could up it to 4%, 5%, or go all the way up to 8% and assume you're going to have a tenant turn every single year. It's really up to you, but when you look at it historically, the 3%, 2% vacancy rate isn't outside of the realm of possibility because of the average tenant stay and because we are providing properties that are in good shape so people aren't getting disappointed and saying, I want to move because this is bad or these things are breaking or, it's just the house is coming apart. It's time to move on because our owners aren't putting money into the property. That's not the case with us. So we treat it as such whenever we're doing our assumptions. Let's talk about maintenance. Simply put, maintenance is really hard to figure out. I've done other videos talking about planning for CapEx expenses, but you look at our pro formas, you see maintenance is set at 3%. Why is that? It's that way because we are not expecting CapEx expenses to happen while you own these properties. Remember, when we are rehabbing these properties, our teams are told if it has less than 7 to 10 years of life remaining, it needs to be replaced when it comes to major systems. So, if you look at it that way, what else have we told you? We've told you on average people are holding these things 4 to 6 years. So your major systems should not need a rehab during the time that you have these properties. So you look at the little things that can go wrong here and there, and you're looking at, 1 or 2 fixes over the year that might happen. If you're not getting the new construction, you're getting the rehab, maybe you have 1 or 2 little things that come up during the year that come out $300 or $400 total. When you look at it that way, you can see that's really only about 3 or 4% of your rent whenever you're talking about the homes that we're renting that are, $11, $12, $13, $1,400. So, we're looking at it that way and seeing what is the actual maintenance percentage that might happen. Now, keep in mind, if you buy a property that is not turnkey, you might want to increase that to 8%, 10%, 12%, just depends on the state of the property. Now, you may not know. Maybe you're buying sight unseen in a non-turnkey property. In that case, I would highly suggest you up your maintenance requirement to 8 to 10%, somewhere in that range, because you just don't know what you're going to be getting into, so you may as well be more conservative. And the final thing we're going to talk about is property management. Look, if you don't know anything at all about the market at first, or if you're just doing a very broad overview of the markets, set it at 10%. Pretty much every market is different, but a lot of them kind of fall in the range of 8 to 10%. So if you don't know anything about the market, set it at 10%. Our markets, our brochures that we put on there is based on the preferred property management company that we have in that market, the one that we have chosen, that we like to hold our investors' properties and our own. And so those are going to be set based on what we've negotiated with that property management company. For the most part, it's 8%, but sometimes it's 10%. And if the manager is good at what they do, that 10% is worth it every day of the week and twice on Sundays. So if you don't know anything at all, set it at 10%. That way you can be safe. If you do know, then set it at whatever they have there. But if it's over 10%, you probably shouldn't really be looking at it, because that is not a market average. They better be doing some far and away better things for you than just standard property management if you're paying more than 10%. So that is why we set our assumptions where they are. That's some things you can do if you want to adjust your assumptions. Kind of some ideas in general of what you might think and what you might be doing at your property moving forward. So I hope it's been helpful for you. If it has, please click the like button. Let us know you appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe, of course. And check us out at renttoretirement.com. That's renttoretirement.com. You can see our properties. You can schedule a call with the investment strategist. We can connect you with anybody you need on your real estate investing team. We're here to help as best we can. Really appreciate the time that you're putting in to become a better investor. That's renttoretirement.com. Thanks for watching. See you on the next video.
Thanks for watching the Rent to Retirement YouTube channel. Check out some of our other videos, like this one, or this one here.